Live, probably.
Mr. Vince, we are back.
Wow.
One more time. Okay.
Hallelujah. Praise the goddesses.
Yes. Party people in the place to be. Can you
Okay.
hear my partner, comrade, Mr. Vince? Let us know if you can hear her.
I'm checking. Wow. I think they can hear me.
Yes. Perfect.
Yay.
All right. It took only
Oh
a
my
few
God.
hours. Revolutionaries do not give up unless they shut us down again on this other platform that we're trying to do. I think we've exhausted all of our means. I think
Yes.
it's also important to start this off right. You know what I'm saying? So I want to play I want to get back into the vibe. I don't want to wait to the end. I want to play the music and I want to get my man in and just set it off because when I heard that song on the other, I was just like,
Right?
oh,
Right.
oh, this is
I
it.
hear you.
This is it. This
No,
is
no,
it.
we're rewinding, people. Rewind. We're starting again.
Rewind. So right now what I want to do is hook up the first video I played. I do love both of them. I do want to put this joint on though because I feel that
you want me to say something about it in the meantime?
please.
Is it the live one? The live one?
It's a live one, yes.
Yeah, so this is a video we found on Sounds of South channel. Anele, who's going to be our very special guest. Hopefully he's still there. He's been hanging in with us. We respect you so much for that and all the amazing things that you do that you're going to share more about in a second. But Sounds of the South. So they did a feature with another organization. I'm going to try to pull it up so I don't say nothing crazy, and it's always important to find the right the right orgs. So it's a collaboration where they actually shared a song that Sounds of the South wrote in 2011, and I just wanted to read this where Andres Tatane, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, was beaten and shot to death in a service delivery protest. The song performed is a call for the decriminalization of protests and justice for those who put their life on the line for a better future. Amazing. They were featured in an open mic, and you'll see the names as Spirit pulls it up, and it's an amazing, beautiful creation and very powerful.
Yes, powerful. I want to say some things that I catch. That's why I want to play it again because it was like cops shoot to kill, but we ain't afraid. Right? That was a line. Many lives lost in the struggle. Toy lives on. Toy lives on. And sister was singing, heed my call, hide your face from ashes to ashes. The poetic vibe of this is going to put us all in the mood, and we're going to get back to the groove, and then immediately we're going to get my man so he can tell you that good news out in South Africa. Right now, we're about to play the music. I think we are professionally back on.
Woo! It's on the Eclectic Bedfellow Sessions, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds of the South, a song that is still so relevant. And we know it's been going on way too long. So that's why we're doing all of these beautiful things.
Ladies and greats, dedicate this one to Comrade Andres Tatani. May his beautiful soul rest in power. Power to the people. Power to the masses. Struggle will continue to its logical conclusions.
Yeah. Many lives lost in a struggle, vote after vote, still a power struggle. Ain't nothing better, ain't nothing better. Vote after vote, no food to eat, daddy still ain't working, living in a shack. Ain't nothing better, ain't nothing better. So many lives lost in a struggle, 17 years later, still a power struggle. Ain't nothing better, ain't nothing better, nothing better.
Yo, dedicated to my brother Andres. Yes, going by no justice for the comrade. It's just us dealing with the same problem. Different day, same struggle. Needless to say, this is a system of thieves and robbers who steal and kill with no conscience. Silence those who try to raise their voices. Privatize public services and criminalize protests. Tell us to vote. How about the fight for change like Andres did before he was gunned down in point blank range? My heart filled up with rage cause the system got us trapped like mice on cage. Even in this day and age we're still starving on the pain. Economic update, some say it's the secrets of human state. Cops shoot to kill but we ain't afraid. Look in the eyes of the MC and see the flames and recognize its anger mixed with pain. The brother's blood never spilled in vain. That's the reason that we're here today. Government and big money markets got us shitting on buckets, waging this war against the poor with the targets. Your pockets empty, trying to keep up with the prices. People hungry, it's a capitalist crisis. So I call on y'all to stand up tall and let's unify our struggles. So I call on y'all to stand up tall and let's unify our struggles. Come on my people, come on my people, let's unify.
Many lives lost in a struggle, vote after vote, still a power struggle. Ain't nothing better, ain't nothing better. Vote after vote, no food to eat, that is still ain't working. Living in a shack, ain't nothing better, ain't nothing better. Many lives lost in a struggle, 17 years later, still a power struggle. Ain't nothing better, ain't nothing better.
Say click, clap, then shooting, blood splitting. I smell danger, anger, political assassination, marijuana, bloodshed. They are bloodshot, nourish the spirit of the activists. Women and men facing the enemy. All my people stand up, women rise up, arms up, causing multiply. And we say toil is on, toil is on.
Hey.
Yeah. Rest in power, comrade. Yeah.
It's painful.
Patient sigh, silent cry, the perfect way for one to die, but not before the gods dig deep for one more soul for earth to keep. Not resurrected, but recycled, bestowed upon one who is entitled to dance to songs of sins retold, sung by the bones beneath the cold, until the cycle has run its course, till death becomes desire's source, and all we know and all we love is lost somewhere in the great above. I am the fragment of a phoenix, the imprint of a fool. Heed my call and hide your face, from ashes to ashes I penetrate. I am the fragment of a phoenix, the imprint of a fool. Heed my call and hide your face, from ashes to ashes to ashes to dust. Vote after vote, still a power struggle. Ain't nothing better, ain't nothing better. Vote after vote, no food to eat, that is still ain't working. Living in a shack, ain't nothing better, ain't nothing better. Many lives lost in a struggle, 17 years later, still a power struggle. Ain't nothing better, ain't nothing better.
Struggle for
nothing better at all.
Nothing better,
Nothing better.
nothing better,
Nothing better at all. Man, this one was dope.
yeah.
Yeah, party people. I tell you, ain't nothing better than hearing revolutionary music over and over again. Ain't nothing better than feeling a little defeated and overcoming your obstacles. Ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing better. So we are going to pull up My peoples, where's my peoples? I can't find you. Okay, where are you? There you go. Right here.
Yes,
Aha!
you got it.
Got you. I'm trying to hit up my man.
Yeah,
Make sure it's the right.
same call.
Yes. So we got this. We got this. We doing it. We
Woo.
doing it. Just make sure.
So
Okay.
if you're tuning in, he just shared his Skype
Okay.
also.
Okay. Good. Let me get
If
that.
you're tuning in, we're talking about revolutionary music. We're talking about community. We're talking about education. Those are the things that come back on these 1010 WINDZ international series, I guess is the word. We've been having amazing guests so far. We had Olat Aden last week from Gangway Beats, who is an amazing being as well. We've had Ali Abdi, who's creating Ayeyo's Place, who's another one to check out. We've had Sabrine El Mabrouk, an amazing young woman who writes very powerfully and has been with us for our youth prison work. We've had Trip, one of our participants of the cipher, an amazing MC, father that mothers. So we have been very blessed again with our guests. And that's sort of where we started it at with the cipher documentary that we wanted to share. And it sort of evolved into this international wing of the 1010 WINDZ created by Spirit Child and Rosa Bettina. So we've been very honored to continue the concepts and to keep inviting those people, right?
Yes. Always.
Always.
Invite them. We try to get them on, and I just need the username. I know it's crazy, but I shut off all my other applications
He did. There
so
it
I
is.
could just perfect. All right,
Yes.
we'll type you in.
So we are welcoming Nelly, and this is again an amazing brother that Spirit Child has been connected with for a while. How long have you known him, Spirit?
Oh my lord, I honestly, that's what I think we should be talking about because I
Right?
feel like I know he came over in Crown Heights, back in the early SSS days.
It is.
I'm bad with years. Probably 2015, 16, 2015 maybe. Peace, brother. I think you're coming on, and I think we finally get to have you.
Yes.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
It
Yo,
looks like it's working. I'm happy.
yes, I'm happy too. I was like, yo, we are not going to leave this day without having my brother from South Africa
Yes.
on live with us right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
We are not going to leave. I'm not leaving my computer until I get some words and vibrations from you, brother. How are you feeling?
No. It's good. I'm good. Surviving. It's
Right?
winter in Cape Town, and that's why I'm on a jacket and a beanie. But yeah, we're here. It's good. It's good to be connecting with you. Nice to finally meet you as well, my sister.
Yes. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, and greetings to everyone who's on the platform and witnessing this moment. Appreciate it.
This magical, historical moment. I haven't connected with my brother in a minute. I know when we first met, there was a big project, a big vibration. Tell us about the Hip Hop Caravan, if that's still doing that, or even just some history behind it, the connection of that, because we would love our people to understand what you've been working on.
How much time do you have?
We got some time. We got, brother, right now, I spent some time working on things. We got time for you. Let's go. We got this.
Oh, yeah. African Hip Hop Caravan. The idea there was to connect, artists, political collectives, activism on the ground, to build a movement, across countries, across, the continent. And when we talk about the African continent, we're not talking geographically only, but we're also talking about all oppressed people all over the world. So the African Hip Hop Caravan was trying to build that kind of a network, that kind of movement that will take forward the tides of the people, building people's power, using specifically, elements of hip hop, particularly music, graffiti, building knowledge and that kind of thing. It's still going. We've hit a little bit of some difficulties trying to move. It's easier to take a flight to Belgium or New York than to go to another African continent or another African country, which is really difficult. A ticket that moves from Cape Town in South Africa to the next, I don't know, closest country, which will be Namibia or Zimbabwe or Zambia, it costs exactly the same than, going to Europe. And for us, we were trying to bring out some of these difficulties that a lot of people will talk about, independence or liberation of Africa. But what really is a challenge for us is that some of the borders and some of the mechanisms of oppression that were brought about with colonialization and apartheid in South Africa, they still exist. They're still live and they still do divide the people. And that's why we then see things like Afrophobia, violence, because, those mechanisms have not been dealt with. So we were using hip hop. We still continue. There are plans to do another excursion throughout the continent to connect, with grassroots activists, grassroots artists, but also to, build this festival that is mobile, that moves from city to city in the continent, but also to tap into the small towns and the villages, and to use the power of hip hop for healing the community, power of hip hop to bring people together, the power of hip hop to stand against the oppression, and to challenge the status quo. So pretty much that's what we've been doing, and that's what African Hip Hop Caravan is about.
Wow, dope. I mean that your connection to the politic. This is exactly what we want people to see, right?
Yeah,
There is
absolutely.
no separation of the arts, of
Absolutely.
the culture, and our political movement and what we need to do. I believe we met through Quincy and Matt, right? Matt Myers, or was it them or who? How did we actually get down with each other? Because I feel like somebody in our collective movement connected us or put a word, and then we just like clicked and started building.
Yeah, it was Matt
Right.
and Quincy. They came here in Cape Town a couple of years ago, and I think they were actually the second group of people who kept saying, "Please link up with Spirit Child." And the first one, I think it was 2013. A poet and an MC based also in New York somewhere, but was now working in China. Jackson Tanner
Yes.
came and joined us. He stayed with us for a couple of times in the Eastern Cape, another part of South Africa. And he kept saying, "What you guys are doing, you really need to link up and build with Spirit." And from there, I was like, okay, let's make it happen. But really, it's Matt Mayer and Quincy, Jen Dog, and other people who were like, yeah, let's make it happen. And finally, I met you.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's dope. I love how our communities are so connected, and I really, I know these times are crazy, but you've been doing a lot of work. You put out a new song. You have like probably new movements since then as well. Organizing. We have been organizing a lot underground here. We're making it our job right now to actually make our worlds even smaller. So all the connections that we build out throughout the years, this is one platform, but this is not the end of our future of figuring out how to collaborate with each other. So any ideas you have practically from making tracks together, doing some music on the culture tip, some CDs, some albums, whatever it is we need to do to keep our bond connected, because we are connected, let's please do that. Mr. Vince, you got some questions for my brother over here?
What happened to the sound?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. This was my fault. Actually, sorry. This was my
Oh, it's like, damn it, we traumatized, yo. We
So what I was saying was actually before asking any question, I really, really want to thank you to be on because, it just gives me shivers to hear people talk who are so aligned and to hear it in so many places over the world. And I think we were saying earlier, like, governments are getting crazy and there's a lot of bad news out there, but we're the good news. And we have to remind each other of the importance of connecting forces. And it's just so amazing because you as well, everything you do, because I've had conversations with Spirit Child about you a couple of times. So it's my pleasure to really connect with you in life as well. Yeah, and just through talking and through conversations, you inspire us as well. And coming back to things we shared about our youth work in the beginning of the series of the cipher, it was very, very much what you're explaining, and it's so important to connect those forces. And we're powerful when we join our forces. So blessed and so grateful to meet you, brother. I just wanted to, one of the things, awesome, thank you. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, how did this get born in you? I mean, obviously being where you are, and how did you come to this work, and how did everything come together for you?
It's one of the most asked question, and I had thought by now I would know how to answer it. It's really difficult. But the truth of it all is that I didn't really have a choice. The struggle pretty much chose me. In high school already. I was organizing with my peers, and I threw my first stone in a police van. When I was only 13 years old. And at the time when, everyone else was saying, there's no point in throwing the stone anymore, we are free. Mandela came and set the country free. But at that point, already we were seeing the signs of the sellout. And pretty much, that became the beginning. And similarly, music at the same time when we were growing up has always been political, has always been about the people, and has always been, beyond the individual, about, but rather the society, about imagining the new day, imagining, a just world. So I had that kind of upbringing. I mean, there's a book that I came across sometime, which was celebrating Kwaito being one of the subgenres of urban culture in South Africa. And in one of the first sections in the book, it says a black artist doesn't have a choice. They have to be political, because their entire existence is political. It's about surviving. It's about, dealing with the reality. And that reality is pretty much, it's all about, your people, you're dealing with oppression, trying to imagine something better than what you have as a collective. I'll share the title of the book with you guys via online. But the point I'm getting to is that I had no choice other than but to be part of the movement. I mean, when growing up, pretty much the conditions of my elder brothers and my uncles and my sisters and my mothers is pretty much the same as it is now. So the talk that other people keep talking about of 1994 as the breakthrough in South Africa, that it's the new day, there's justice, there's liberation, there's freedom, there's democracy, and that there's now black people who are in power. To some extent, it's true, but the material conditions don't change. And if my older brothers and uncles and forefathers, were justified to take the fight, and to be in the picket lines, then it also makes sense that I follow suit, because what they fought for is not yet realized. So there's no point in choosing. If the struggle chooses you. I hope I answered you.
That's
Oh,
perfect. I actually wanted to
definitely.
ask you. I wanted to ask you a question when you were speaking, and you mentioned it a few times. We've been having a lot of these conversations right now. Like,
Yeah.
if you know, like our movement has been intensifying here in the States, and we have this conversation about reform versus revolution, right? And even within the revolution, you kind of find yourself constantly being the revolutionary within the sea of people claiming to be revolutionary, right? But like, I want to ask you, because our people are watching, right? And our
Yes.
people need to know this history, right? You're talking about Mandela. You're talking about how governments get in power, how things kind of cool the people or the fire, but the flame is still happening on your back, right? Like, you're still being lit. So what message do you have for artists, organizers, new people coming in when they try to make concessions or negotiate with governments or police departments or anything that is not to the radical extent of true liberation? What is your take on that?
It's a really important question. I want to preface that my answer with agreeing with you that the late 80s in South Africa and the period of the 90s was an opportunity. In fact, we had two options, and one option was revolution to bring down capitalist apartheid, or to reform it, right? And the truth of the matter is that people made the mistake and they chose reform. And that moment meant a defeat for the mass movement. We lost because at the moment when everyone was involved to build the new day, to build the just South Africa that is for everyone, a political party emerged and said, "Don't worry, I will organize for you. Go home."
Oh God, yeah.
Pretty much demobilizing the movement, taking the power away from the people. And what we have since then is the fruits of that defeat. Maybe not fruit, bad fruit, or rotten fruit. I don't know what's the correct term. So during this lockdown, we have 12 people who have been murdered by the state in South Africa. 12, all of them black young men. Our lockdown began on the 26th of March. By the time it was end of April, already these 12 people were killed by police and soldiers. In many times, these are black police, these are black soldiers. The point is, it's the state, right? So I think the task for us, particularly cultural workers, is to always remind the people about the goalposts. Is to remind people that it is important to dream. It is important to stick to the mandate of the people. It is important to, not to lose sight. Whatever is happening, yes, sometimes you have to move back a little bit, but you do that to gather strength, and you don't go to any negotiations if you don't have strength. And ANC, which is the governing party here, when they went to the negotiations, they had already demobilized the movement, they had already demobilized the population, and they went in those negotiations and they sold out.
Yo, for me personally, brother, you have no idea. My comrade over there knows what's going on with us. Just recently, I wasn't going to talk about it until I have more information. But just recently, we had a situation where we have this rising of we're at City Hall, and the mothers are organizing who lost their children, right? And I want to say this in this way, right? With all respect to everyone who's doing their thing, actions on all fronts, yada yada yada. We believe in all that, right? This is really personal right now, and you giving me so much energy. You have no idea. You're giving me fuel for this fire. You know the music we do. You know, and you said you hit it right on the head. You're cultural workers, but this is our job. This is what we do. You don't have to hire us. We're going to show up and do what we do, and continue to imagine the unimaginable. Continue to push the dialogue that's not being had. So I feel as an artist, you have every right to actually say, oh, our views and stuff is not at the discretion of blah, blah, blah. Like, make a disclaimer. Just say this guy's crazy or whatever. Like, it's okay. However, what they did was ask me to not perform a song that had soon you will all have to die as one of the lines in it, because they didn't deem it as uplifting. And it would have hurt their conversation, I believe. We're still waiting to hear back, because as a cultural organizer, I don't take no for no. I need to know who said what, why you said it. Give me a manifesto. Let's talk about that document. You feel me? Because I'm riding with people, and I want to know who is not riding with me. So I talked to our elders, right? And I ask you this question because we got elders who are the Black Panthers, the Young Lords. I got on the phone immediately and said, they don't want me to perform. What should I do? They gave me an option. You can perform, but you can't perform that song. And immediately they said, don't compromise. If you feel compromised, don't do it. And also, like, our job is to keep that up. And I'm learning now that even within revolution, I mean, we've known this, but to have this kind of practice of being silenced within the revolution of, like, actions on all fronts, right? You do what you do, I do what I do. And it shocked me. It hurt me. I kept telling my partner out there, I was like, I felt like, I don't know how Malcolm would have felt, when he was silenced for 90 days from Elijah Muhammad. But I felt like, yes, the chickens have come home to roost. Let's talk about the system must die. White supremacy must die. That is not a negotiation. That is not I cannot coexist with white supremacy. So when you start having a split in the movement on perspectives and ideologies that's not for liberation, it bothers me. So I appreciate your answer, because you gave me a lot of hope for right now. That really that I'm losing a little bit. You feel me? Like it's hard. I'm losing steam sometimes, But I appreciate that.
We must re-energize and keep to our guns and never flip flop. Yeah, and definitely never, compromise ourselves, never to compromise our work. It comes from somewhere, and it's not about that you just decide, oh, actually, let me keep quiet here. Let me, we can't self-censor, and we shouldn't let anyone censor us. Definitely, I'm with you on that one.
Word. So we must make some music to get more people pissed off. That's what we got to do. I think that's the goal. The goal is that we got to work on some new music and just put it out there. How are you doing with that? How's your projects going, though?
The foundations of this, oppressive capitalist, status quo. We shake it from its foundations all the time. And we do that with what we love, and inspire the movement as well, and never to shake, never to get scared, never to back down, and we keep going. In the same way that this conversation, they tried to sabotage
yes!
and then it's still, until it happens, for sure.
Right. And that's what we was talking about. We was talking about this situation of being shut down and still resisting to continue even despite the shutdown. I do have an idea, because we want to use these platforms actually to also organize. And I think you and Doreen should have a conversation, because we have these projects happening out in Europe to prisons. We're going out there working with the youth. We can start with asking you if you can give us a video or some information speaking to the young people out there, but also maybe seeing, since you said yourself that it might be easier for you to travel actually out to Belgium than it is to other African countries. So maybe the possibility is that we got to figure out grant-wise, money-wise, whatever, so that we can meet the next time we can out there in Belgium, maybe in 2021, so we could set it up.
For sure, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get things done. Let's connect as much as we can, and definitely, yeah, after this COVID and its lockdowns, yeah, let's meet up.
Right
Definitely.
on. Cool, cool. Thank you so much, brother. We're gonna
Absolutely.
play your music. We appreciate you for giving your time, and actually, you
Yes.
gave way more. You gave like 500 times the time because you've been waiting for a minute, and we apologize. We know you're organizing. We know you're in the streets. We know you're making moves. We love you. We're with you. Anything we can do to support you over here. It's my little daughter causing some things. She's getting her headphones.
Yeah.
She wanted her headphones. She was like,
Another
everybody
guest.
else got headphones. I want headphones. Anything that we could do to support and help out,
Yes.
spread the word, please do on the chat. Put the name of that book that you mentioned. Put any information anytime. We always communicate and you send some things. And like anytime you want to put our wall, put anything out, forward it, put it, let's do it. We are with you 150%.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll definitely do. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much,
I
Nelly.
the opportunity as well and the platform. Greetings and love to everyone who's part of the movement, who's watching, and Spirit. I appreciate it, my brother. As well, Doreen. Nice meeting you, and let's start building all the way.
Yes, right
Nice one.
on.
Absolutely. Gonna continue this conversation. Thank you so much.
All right, cool. Please,
Peace, peace.
peace.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
we
have
did
another
it.
guest star, ladies and gentlemen. That's
Yeah.
amazing. It's an amazing show. Wow, so much wisdom. I hope people get to check this out because this is so, so, so
Well,
necessary to
we're
hear.
gonna have to make sure we share it far and wide, like we do with all our other joints, and
Absolutely.
make sure it's out there. Can we close out and let's? Oh, can you say what you said in the beginning that shut us down
Yeah.
when we talked about
Yes,
having a
absolutely.
bug in the system? Okay,
It's
okay, we're gonna start one more time. We talked about there's a bug in the system. We tried to update and upgrade to meet the bug where it's at, to do something with the bug, and the bug still tried to oppress us. We couldn't get rid of the bug. So we had to like delete it, get rid of it. We had to kill it and then start all over again. That's what happened about 5 times today because we were not able to talk. And then Doreen started talking about a situation out in Belgian prison. I mean, not prison, I'm sorry, school system.
yeah. Well, just look it up, people. Look it up. School and prison. Yes, exactly. I do want to give a shout out to Miss Zaida Diara. Thank you so much for watching. Alina as well. Thank you so much. Amara, Elaine, to all the beautiful people
Zai also
watching
went out to
over there.
South Africa as well. You
Yes.
know, Zai was out there with not Roots of what was it? Zaida, what's the name of the org that you went out there? It was Bridges? I think it was called Bridges. Something Bridges of Wayma. And big up to Wayma,
Yes,
also
Rima.
her son. And they organized and did some things out there in South Africa. I believe her daughter Kai, Zai's daughter, also went out there, who's an amazing poet. And I don't know, maybe we could have
She's saying
your
yes,
daughter
yes.
on to come through and bless us with some poetry because her daughter put a book out. And I think it would be a good platform for us to just have a conversation. We might have to have it on the weekend like this because 10:10 is probably pretty late, but it's summertime. We'll talk about it. We do it on Mondays as well. Thank you for stopping by. What else you have to say, Doreen?
I just want to say Zaida said Bridges of Pan-African Arts Movement.
That's
Yes,
it. Bridges of
exactly. Thank you
Pan-African
so
Art.
much.
Yes.
And I wanna give some love to our revolutionary sisters, Mara and Elaine as well. They have been building so much with us these past couple of days, weeks. And you know, one of them said school system, aka prison. That's what because they don't teach you the truth in school. That's one of the many reasons. Many reasons. Check out 13 if you want other reasons. 13 also available on YouTube these days because it's necessary to watch.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to come back to my story. So we tried to tell you, and we were cut off at all those moments, that today in Belgium, the government decided that they were not going to extend and even correct, I have to say, their the part in the school books about colonization, because obviously we don't know the truth about Leopold II in the sense of it is not put in our school books nor history books that he killed over 10 million people and obviously rob Congo of its beautiful natural resources. So that the truth needs to be out there, but the government said, no, we don't see the need. Anyway, we knew that. We know that. It drops the connection we have, the babies that come in and share their beautiful being. You know,
Yeah.
you can't stop us. We are our education. Teach his children, so we teach our own.
We definitely do. We definitely do. And what's really important is that when we said that we don't, it's not that we don't want to share bad news. I think the bad news breeds good news. And to let you know that there is hope, that we also have Maroon Mondays. We welcome you to Maroon Mondays. That is our own platform for education. We are working on curriculum for these young people so they can understand why they out in the streets, why mama and dad is out in the streets. When they can get out in the streets, they come with us. Why we scream Black Lives Matter, and why we also say, what's the other thing that we say? Hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. That's another thing that we've been chatting around here a lot. That's it. That's what you heard it. You heard it from the youth. My little one gonna be 5 in 2 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. I'm so sorry. 3 weeks. 5 years old. 3 weeks. We're gonna be out there everywhere. July 4th is another action from the Black and Brown Brigade, Young Lords, Black Panther Party. People who went out to that Unity March and Rally June 14th. There's a brigade. We are still organizing. The next action is going to be out dealing with these racist nooses that have been circulating through Van Cortlandt, Kingsbridge, Marshalloo Parkway. We're going to just put that on blast, have some speakers, have some entertainment, have some culture, keep the movement up and going. And I do want to play our brother's music to close us out. You can see some dinosaurs. Yeah.
To check out at 10:10, right? Every single time. Bless you. Salud.
Every single time. 10:10. 10:10.
So, yes, keep spreading the amazing knowledge and wisdom that needs to be out there.
All right, we're gonna close out and do this show. I feel really happy what we did, how we did it.
Me too.
We're gonna close out the way it's supposed to be, with some revolutionary culture. We are 1010 WINDZ. That is some blood on there. Paint blood, all that stuff is up there. It's good. We have conversations. See that little guy? He's taking a pee-pee on the army. That's against him. Yeah, you want to see that? Okay, cool. We're gonna check it out. Our people.
Live schooling. Liberation.
Live schooling. This is what we do. We're going to play the music. Hope we see you next time. And, stay free, man. Stay free. Stay free. Stay free. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Organize. 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 There is room for all of you in whatever capacity you have. Please do not compromise. Do not make concessions. And you shall always be victorious, no matter how crazy your dream is. We are here to dream. We are here to revolutionize. We are here to do the unimaginable. All right? The unimaginable. So ride with us, roll with us, and we'll play some music. Got anything to say, Mr. Fitz? Last words?
I say A woman, A beyond gender, A everything to that. That's it.
Right on. Peace, party people. We'll see you next time with, I believe,
thank you so much.
Miscellaneous Temperamental may be our guest.
We get to do that. Oh, yes.
We're going to have you on. We're going to have you on.
It's your time next, girl. Thank you all so much. Love you.
Peace, peace.
I advocate self-determination for my people and for all oppressed people. I advocate an end to capitalist exploitation,
while
the
loading.
abolition of racist policies, the eradication of sexism, and the elimination of political repression. If that is a crime, then I am totally guilty.
When the rich rob the poor, it's called business. When the poor fight back, it's legal violence. Emancipated minds, we no longer blind to why government laws are demanded. Cause we know who's responsible for all our people's demise. Yeah, we won't retreat. No my best back and my ball, best piece and my gamma. So she and us all as twice is the lato. We'll take our palms, lay down our lives for change to come, yeah. And we're finally going to kill the population. Khulumente wanga wankulu. Ngoba siphathe langa chinchi seyandisa inhluphekane yantukwano. It's plain to see. Black itamba kumaqala ngalintoko. Kufana ngona kulinda kusakangcele. Hlabe lokhu jokumlisana namthinjana naludabi.
See us marching in the streets with our lighters in hand, with one goal in mind. Today we burning the man. If they stop us in our tracks and asking for our demands, tell them we want freedom in our motherland. Cause we've been living in discrimination for a long time. We've been living in segregation for a long time. This democracy is really a system of all hypocrisy. Another dubious scheme plotted by the bureaucracy. It's methane gas, you can see it, you can't smell it. It fills your lungs every day when you inhale it. When all of the born freeze, all stars decaying, the essence will fill the air as the anthem's playing. Take your hand off the Bible, don't swear to God. Just swear to the universe that one day you'll be charged. When your veil is off your eyes and you can see the facade of the society that's gas in the air, the methane's out. And I'm out.
I spent my early childhood in a racist, segregated South. I later moved to the northern part of the country, where I realized that black people were equally victimized by racism and oppression.
Hey yo, mammals off the young, black and I'm free. Ain't no place in the world I can roam free. Is it because my hair is black and I have a brown skin? Confounded by the same state of affairs. My ancestors went through the same thing. On the pre-motion, the old slave mill, grinding slow but grinding still. Black bodies on the ground in cold blood, lying still. Shit is ill. Got me feeling like Bobby Soul. Grab the skull, go rat-a-tat at the face of white supremacy. Dividing and distracting us. All they seeing us is savages and monsters. Hate the black man but love the culture. Appropriation, extractions, genocide and ecological destruction. That's the shit they fuck with.
Njengendaka zinkiloza ingathi zinamtenezelo kwenhlanzi zibhukuda ingathi sikhululekile emanzini. As we walk miles uthulile ibetha ezinyaweni sikhangela impilo siqhelekile emphefumulweni. Inhliziyo ivetha kwekube ephikweni siyaphithizela sifuna ukungami inkululeko sokuleni. Basichabaza ngobuni bethu ndazi senzeni isidima sethu basiyashile sidakumbile sijikijike ebusweni siphela siphela ensizini. Kaloku umuntu omnyama kanaxabise bomile impilo yakhe semngciphekweni wethu uhlele enkabeni. Ucacalulo lulo lenza singaboni kasonye. Ephanyaza kubekanye sekuphelile ichithekile ibhekile. Uzide sowusithi qamata siphamandla singasweli. Elidabe lanqulunqwa ngabanqolobi besiletha engqondweni. Sidlakadlaka enyameni sonakele emoyeni sisenqenezelweni. Kuyoze kube nini siphila lenhlalo yamakapitali. Ewe mina ayilingani kodwa nakuya sisihlambe khawusive melusi. Ubukho bethu budala inkohlakalo kwabamhlophe emthetheleli. Asazi sonebani kodwa thina sivuma sijiki siyaqhubeka siyaphambili. Asazi sonebani kodwa thina sivuma sijiki siyaqhubeka siyaphambili.
Let me emphasize that justice for me is not the issue I am addressing here. It is justice for my people that is at stake. When my people receive justice,